the shower at night, but those tears, they shine so bright. Warrior tears down my face. In this life I run this race. Mama Kohrs didn't raise no bitch. Mama Kohrs didn't raise no bitch. Oh, from the morning to the dusk, in the numbers I do trust. Broker calls and market shifts. Hard work gives me endless gifts. When the night falls and the tears start, that's the time I show my heart. Fighting battles day and night. Mama's strength is my true light. Mama Kohrs didn't raise no bitch. Mama Kohrs didn't raise no bitch. Oh, nah. Mama Kohrs didn't raise no bitch. Nah, oh. Mama Kohrs didn't raise no bitch.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, I have decided to stand again. We're taking on a whole new chapter of, I suppose, what? The Matt Kohrs show. We're bringing it to the next level. We went from standing to sitting, back to standing again. You know, I just think it's not so good to be sitting so much. You know, you just kind of feels like your body's not supposed to do that. So I just want to be a little bit more limber. I want to be a little bit more ready. So that's the big switch. That's the big announcement. Alert the press. Tell whoever you need to. Your boy is standing again, basically, so I don't look like such a fat Barney anymore. Maybe it'll help me burn an extra couple kcals here and there. The other thing standing up this morning is the old market. Stocks, futures, crypto are all looking pretty spicy. They're all looking pretty bullish. They're all looking pretty froggy. They're all looking like they kind of just want to keep going up and up and up. So I'm excited. For those of you who watched my update video yesterday, you know it was bad news and good news. So the bad news is I lost like $30,000 yesterday. There's a little bit of confusion about that in terms of the comments. All that money that I lost had nothing to do with the show yesterday. On the show yesterday, I was trading futures. As in the video, I kind of explained it, or maybe I just said it too quickly, but that was from a put swing position. I was swinging puts for a couple days when the market was starting to look a little toppy. And at one point I was up, I don't know, 5 to 8K. And then it just violently returned, but it had nothing to do with yesterday. Yesterday, all those issues that you guys saw, like I just blew out one account, then I degenerately traded it again and again and again. So it was $35, and I did that about 3 or 4 times. So what's that, like $140? So what you saw on the show yesterday was specific to sim-to-funded futures trading, while the video was about, like, in all reality, it's what I kind of care more about, but like my large option swing positions, and that's why the number was so much bigger. So that was the bad news of it. The good news is, also in the video, I broke down why I decided to get into call positions, and I gave out all the reasons: stock structure, price momentum, options flow, option structure, the big guys, and seasonality. It was basically, 5 to 6 to 7 different reasons of why I personally decided to cut my puts, admit I was wrong, and move into calls. And then obviously, based on pre-market trading, it looks like it's going to be opening up pretty well. So I'm very excited about TQQQ should pay for those losses alone. I hope, fingers crossed, man. Obviously, anything can happen. I know we still have 25 minutes till the market opens, and you never know what's going to happen at market open. So I believe I was on the right side of the trend, but even that trends change. You never know. So the way I approach, especially swing trading, is do your best to mathematically, empirically, quantifiably identify what the trend is, and then try to ride the trend for as long as you can. Your goal as a swing trader, in my opinion, or really any trader, is to just get the meat of the move. You're not going to bottom tick. You're not going to top tick. Get the meat of the move. Take your money. Move on to the next one. And basically, I had to do that with the puts. And I was talking about this in the Discord yesterday. And if you look at the structure and the setup, especially what happened Thursday, Friday into Monday, it did go bearish. I don't mind the trade at all in terms of the direction and the thesis. What I do mind is I was almost 2x the size that I should have been. And that's a very, very good lesson for us to remember every single day is you could be confident that things can align for you, but that doesn't mean you're going to make money. This comes back to the argument of good decisions based on not being based on did you make money or not. I strongly would argue between July 31st, Thursday, and then Friday, August the 1st, things changed. We went from call dominated to put dominated. We were making fresh lows. There was a bit of panic. Like we saw it, like the metrics were there that maybe this is a pullback. We knew the start of August and August in a general sense could be a little bit more bearish, choppy to bearish. People locking in their profits from July. There was a good argument for it. It just so happened that we quickly reverted, which means that it's always that sobering reminder that as many things line up for you and you're confident, you can never be so confident to overbet. It's as soon as you start overbetting that the market gods are going to smash it right back in your face. So, I'm happy to be back on the right side of the metrics right now. I just need to keep moving my risk up and up and up. And as this thing continues to trend, and then ideally I'll have my risk set at a point that it's a break even. So then it's a free lotto ticket trade. The way I like to do that day trading with all of you guys in futures, I also like to do that with options where I'm enough in profit that basically I move my stop right there. And then whatever happens, it happens. And my goal is to ride the trend as long as I possibly can. So if you're curious about what in the world I'm talking about, make sure to check out that video. I believe it's called I'm Cooked minus 30,000 or probably, I don't know. In reality, this is kind of funny. This is real, and my producer will admit this. We were trying to figure out the video title for yesterday, and these were my initial ideas. So obviously you guys saw the thumbnail, the I'm Cooked. So he sent me that. I loved it. I thought it looked awesome. So these were all my ideas. How am I this stupid? I'm a retard. I got fucked. Trading is fucking stupid. Is this my worst idea ever? Pain, just pain, period. My worst idea ever. That was a little variant. And that was it. Those were all my ideas. They were all pretty freaking negative, I suppose. So that's what it's like in a business day here at Kohrs Studios. We just say the most horrific things in text. But anyway, ideally, today's going to be a little bit better. I truly believe the luck in the market is a pendulum. It goes from you're getting lucky to unlucky, and I'm hoping that I've been unlucky for long enough that the pendulum comes back and we're on the lucky side. So we're switching it up. We're putting some good juju into the air. We're standing up. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So the plan for this morning is for me to go over the global news, then the economy news, then the individual equity news. And then I need to show you folks a little bit of vindication. A little bit of vindication. Your boy was right. You guys were calling me crazy. You're like, your strategy sucks. Skynet sucks. What are all these problems? It's your bug. You don't know how to code. You don't know how to trade. Blah, 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 blah. Oh boy. Not only do I have one email, but I have 2 emails to show you that I am not a crazy person. Well, I might be a crazy person, but I'm not a crazy person for the reason that you guys have accused me of being a crazy person. So I am stoked for that. But quick, if you haven't already, sign up for Funding Ticks. It is a new prop firm, at least to me. I now have an account for a couple days. I'm really enjoying it. For those of you who enjoy Take Profit Trader or Apex, remember, I've always pitched to you, I would say use multiple, because then you get to take advantage of the slight pros on each one while ideally mitigating the cons. And right here, they have a 1-day pass, they have a 3-day pass, and now they have a straight to funded. This is the cheapest straight to funded option I have found on a trading one or sim to funded trading company that I also trust. So that's the one I'm using. I'm using the straight to funded, but obviously the rules are just slightly different. So obviously pick the account size and the rule set that is best for you and increases the chances of you being successful. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. As always, if you use that code Goonie, you're going to get a bonus. And this time around, you're going to get 35% off. Highly recommend checking it out. And I obviously will be trading on it today. Stock futures jump after Trump's chip tariffs have broad exemptions. So it's once again, semiconductors and AI that is making the world go a little bit bonkers crazy. Right now, the SPY is currently up 0.6%. The Qs are up 0.83. Palantir, it's just the gift that keeps on giving, up 0.9. The small cap sector is up 1%. And then even Bitcoin's up 1%, currently trading at 116,000. So early this morning, things are pretty freaking green, which means I don't necessarily think we're going to get an all-time high today, but it's not the craziest thing for us to battle this out. Like, if we got an all-time high today, no one would be surprised. But to even battle it out at 6,400 and maybe get the highest closing value we've ever had, that is definitely in the cards. Definitely in the cards. Right now in pre-market trading, we're around 6,387. So we're all the way right where my cursor is. We're all the way right here. We're not that far away from some record levels. So ideally, we get some excitement today. Russia says Putin and Trump will meet in coming days. The Kremlin says the location for the meeting had been agreed upon and will be announced later. What I think is funny about this, the Kremlin said Thursday that a meeting between Presidents Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin has been agreed in principle. Just agree, like conceptually, we could do this. Like in principle, both countries, both administrations, both guys, both leaders, they know what a meeting is. So they agreed to this thing in principle. I thought it was an interesting way to put it. But this ideally, it's kind of like a high risk, high reward situation. The meeting could go super well and maybe tensions simmer down even more. And then maybe, just maybe, this is like the next step in the whole Russia-Ukraine thing ending. Obviously, it could also go the other way where they end up like talking shit to each other. And then all of a sudden we have a lot of negative sentiment. So with this one, it could obviously break either way. Just pay attention to it. I think it's pretty important. Here's a little bit about the guys had to say.
Trump-Putin meeting, what can we expect? What needs to happen before the two actually sit down?
Yes, the Kremlin said this morning that they're working out the details with the American side, that they've agreed that there'll be a meeting within the next few days. He said they're working on next week. They've decided on a venue, though he hasn't disclosed that yet. And he said that Witkoff raised the idea of a trilateral meeting involving not only Putin, Trump, but also Ukraine.
Oh, sorry, to be clear. The guy on the screen right now is neither President Trump or President Putin, just in case there's a bit of confusion. This guy's name is Tony.
President Zelensky, but that Russia hadn't really responded on that question, that they're focused on the bilateral talks between Putin and Trump. Clearly, what we yet don't know is whether or not that Russia will declare a ceasefire before that meeting takes place.
So, Tony, are we any closer to a ceasefire on this war? Does any of that need to happen before the two leaders sit down?
Well, I think certainly from Ukraine and Europe's point of view that they want to see a ceasefire in place before any sort of meeting takes place with Putin to try and reach a longer-term settlement. The US, too, has been pushing for a ceasefire, and that was part of Trump's deadline, the Friday deadline tomorrow, for imposing secondary tariffs on purchases of Russian oil that Putin had to agree by that date for a truce. We don't yet see from the Kremlin that there is a willingness by Putin to stop the fighting, but clearly, as they've indicated, there's a plan for a meeting within the next few days, and it would be quite surprising if there wasn't pressure on the Kremlin to agree to at least a short-term truce while that meeting took place.
Tony, will President Zelensky be there? How much of a difference does it matter on the global stage if it's a two-way meeting or a three-way meeting?
We don't yet know. I think the original proposal was that Trump would meet with Putin and then meet with Zelensky, and potentially there would be a three-way meeting involving all three leaders if those talks went well.
That'd be spicy.
We're waiting to see whether or not, in fact, President Zelensky is invited to this meeting, and indeed where the meeting will take place next week.
Most successful comedian of our time, if you ask me. Anyway, that's it for kind of the global news, bringing it closer to the U.S. That's still global news, but more economic focused. U.S. trading partners race to secure exemptions from Trump's tariffs. Countries seek more clarity from the U.S. as Trump revamps global order. So the hot trade war news recently kind of relates to semiconductors. Trump's reciprocal tariffs come into effect, hitting dozens of U.S. trading partners. All of them are basically saying, hey, we very, very much want a deal. In fact, the only one right now that's trying to act tough, like the cool kid in the leather jacket in the corner of the bar, is India. Everyone else is saying, dude, can we please come to some sort of a deal? Trump's tariffs take effect in fresh tests for global economy. Let me make sure the volume is actually higher. Do I have to play it first?
We're going to be putting a very large tariff on chips and semiconductors. But the good news for companies like Apple is if you're building in the United States or have committed to build, without question committed to build in the United States, there will be no charge. In other words, we're not going to be charging. So a lot of countries, a lot of companies are leaving various other places and they're coming to the United States. So in other words, we'll be putting a tariff on of approximately 100% on chips and semiconductors. But if you're building in the United States of America, there's no charge, even though you're building and you're not producing yet in terms of the big numbers of jobs and all of the things that you're building. If you're building, there will be no charge. So I just want everyone to know that. And I didn't even tell you that inside. We discussed the concept, but I didn't. So it's a big factor. So 100% tariff on all chips and semiconductors coming into the United States. But if you've made a commitment to build, or if you're in the process of building, as many are, there is no tariff.
So this was the hot news of yesterday, and the day before that, we know that Tim Cook of Apple and Jensen Huang of NVIDIA individually met with President Trump. No surprise that NVIDIA and Apple are looking really good because, whoa, guys, did you know that we're actually building out in the U.S. just in time for the president to announce it? I'm sure it was just a coincidence, but that's definitely, once again, driving some enthusiasm. Trump eyes 100% chips tariff exempting firms that invest in the U.S. Trump's 100% chip tariff hits Japan's giants, but Samsung and TSMC rise on U.S. bets. Well, we know one of them for sure has announced, I believe in Arizona, that they're going to be building out more and more factories. If you like them, if you don't, if you do or don't agree with the trade war, the tariff war, you have to admit this is playing in the favor of the U.S. I think objectively, we should look at the administration's efforts in all these different lanes, and there's no such thing as all good or all bad, but you have to admit where we were from April to now, that's been a big shift. The sentiment was, this is crazy. What is he doing? Why is he doing it? The market's going to crash. We're never going to come back from it. And now the market's basically at an all-time high, and we have commitments from massive companies and other trade partners to build and develop in the U.S. So you have to, like I said, when the administration does stupid things like with the Epstein list or calling out Powell, I'm going to call that out. When they do pretty impressive things, such as this entire trade war, I'm also going to applaud them because it went exactly the way they wanted it to. And even though it's not technically done, and I know India is still doing India things, it's just a matter of time. It's honestly just a matter of time. Trump raises India tariffs to 50% over Russian oil purchases. President Donald Trump implemented an additional 25% tariff on India days after he already imposed a 25% levy on major trading partner. I find that the government in India is currently directly or indirectly importing Russian Federation oil. Remember here that he has a lot other levers that he could pull on. For example, what if he starts cutting all the visas to India? It could get brutal. And that's just one of many things. When it comes to a tit for tat, I guess, like pissing match between the U.S. and India, dude, the U.S. can piss a lot. So it's like, if you ask me, it's just going to be a matter of time. And I've been reiterating that time and time again. But I really think that there's certain countries that are in better positions, but India is very, very reliant in the U.S. on many different fronts. And it's just going to be a matter of time. It truly is. All right, coming back to the market today, initial jobless claims slightly more than expected, but when it's only off by 5,000, it's really not that big of a deal. Once again, it comes back to the issues of the revisions that are always a little bit worse than you expect them today to be. At 1 p.m., we're going to have the 30-year bond auction, and it was just announced today that Trump will be speaking at 4 p.m. today. So right at market close, the president will be speaking. With respect to individual equities, we're still in earnings season, but granted, it is slowing down. Eli Lilly, Celsius, Hut 8 reported this morning, Sony. Maybe you care about Wendy's or Fubo TV on Friday. But overall, there's a couple major remaining ones. I would say the one that you guys probably mostly care about is NVIDIA, which is actually going to be in a couple weeks. After the market closes today, Block, Pinterest, Take-Two Interactive, Twilio. You might care about that. But like I said, there's a couple ones that like I see you guys chit-chatting about. But I would say the major one that people still care about is NVIDIA, which is a couple weeks out. Apple and Trump detail 100 billion U.S. spending expansion, including a 2.5 billion for an iPhone glass factory. So this was the hot news, and you could even see it in Apple stock of what in the world's going on. But this agreement, this deal, granted, Apple is kind of just going sideways, but look at this pre-market trading. It's getting that trend breakout. This is a huge accumulation. For those of you who are kind of like into this theory of the market, especially for swing trading, I mean, it pumped, it consolidated, it broke out, huge breakdown, consolidated ever since mid-April. Didn't really go up, didn't really go down. This is it. This is that attempt for the breakout, all being spurred on Tim Cook's efforts with the administration, bringing a lot back to the U.S. So maybe it has legs, maybe it doesn't, but I can tell you it's looking pretty good. How Meta could challenge Apple and Google to become the AI king on our devices. Meta is well positioned to be a key player in AI across our devices as chatbots become more personalized and advanced, according to one fund manager. Access to the data of 3.48 billion users across the family for apps such as Facebook and Instagram could be a key advantage. Now, when it comes to the market, there's many things that I'm not an expert in, and I'm definitely not an expert in AI, but I'm definitely more familiar with the world of AI and tech than many other sectors of the market. And with that being said, I actually think that Meta is kind of like the secretly, I don't know, like the dark horse candidate of AI. I know it's a little bit late to the party and it pissed away billions of dollars on the metaverse and Reality Labs, but I agree with this. Like, you know how a year or two ago, the people who made the amazing call outs on Palantir, they're like, dude, get it while it's cheap. I've been a fan of Meta. I mean, I put it in my long-term investment portfolio maybe 6 to 8 months ago. And granted, I was nowhere close to the bottom. But even since then, the percentage gain is impressive. And I'm actually going to sit here and I think this keeps going. I really do. Just because of the data set it has, the new team that it's assembled. If you had to ask me for maybe a 5 to 10 year period of a stock that I'm very excited about, Meta is definitely going to be in the top 5. So 5 to 10 year period, top 5 for stock. Like if I could only pick 5, Meta would be one just because of where it is in the AI, I suppose, AI semiconductor, even the positioning with the government right now. There's various things I like going on with it. Now, will it be able to execute? That's a completely different story. But I just want to reiterate, as I have been in terms of like medium-term investing, maybe even call it short-term investing, I'm going to hold on it for longer, but I really do like NVIDIA. So this might be a worthwhile thing for you guys to check out. If you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter. It's 100% free. It's always been free, always will be free. Sorry, let me fix my hair. I break down what's going on in the market, cheat sheet for the earnings, cheat sheet for all the major macroeconomic events. It comes to your email inbox every single Sunday, but most useful is the seasonality. Today, over the past 27 years, the better part of 3 decades, the seasonality does favor the bulls. Here's a look at the hypothetical equity curve you would have if you bought at open, sold at close on the S&P 500 futures market. For the first 18-ish years, it's been choppy, little down, little up, little down, but then recently, over the past decade, this particular day has clearly been dominated by the bulls. And just for those of you who are curious about tomorrow, also slightly leaning bullish. A lot of chop for the first 2 decades, and then the past 7 years, up and away. So is this the end all be all? No, I'm giving you the odds, 48%, 48%. But there is a slight lean, there is a slight bias. All right. Now, bringing it back to where we are specifically for today, I'm watching this channel build out. Obviously, the all-time high was made at the end of July. Right now, we kind of had this blow off top that dropped, and now we're just grinding it up. And early this morning, it does appear as if we're going to open up a little bit higher at 6385. So about 40 points, about $4 higher in the SPY. So obviously, very excited about that. And I don't think it's the craziest thing if we just keep up with this generic trend to kind of push 6,500 maybe by mid-August. Like that would be a very easy technical build out of this daily chart. Just so you know, the options market is bullish. I was previously showing you guys right here. Over the past 3 trading days, Monday, the large players, institutions were huge net buyers. Yesterday, small net buyers, and the day before that. So basically every day of this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the large players have been net buyers to one degree or another. Looking at the options market, obviously we have some supportive positive gamma beneath. We have some exciting, tantalizing negative gamma above. Remember, that's not positive or negative. It's where do you have support in sticky price action and where do you have more of slippery price action? Like how are the market makers going to react? So we have an opportunity to definitely battle it out at 6,400 and maybe we start tagging the 6,430 level. So that's kind of the option setup. Putting that all together, as I always do, I mark out the previous high, low, and close, the transition zone, and then the major open interest levels. Feel free to screenshot this. Feel free to write these levels down. My bull case is basically we take out 6,380. That's where I want the base. Then 6,400. Then my reach goal is 6,420. That would be my bull case, which is my personal bias of the day. My bear case would be a failure at basically 6,380, push 70, and then I take my profits at 50. So even though I always like to have the bull case and the bear case, but personally, just so you guys know my own bias on the day, I am looking for the bull case to play out, and I'm not really that interested in the bear case today. All right, so with all that being said, I just want to show you I have traded early this morning. I traded on all my take profit accounts because all I had to do was a scalp trade. I just needed one more trading day. All of my take profit accounts are at the profit targets. I needed 3K, 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 3K. So the new system, Skynet, has officially passed on all 5 take profits. The scalp trade was in. So these are going to be good by tomorrow. So I traded those, but I haven't traded anything else. You're going to notice a new icon on the screen right here. And basically, I'm trying a new trade copier, but I want to let you know that I am not a crazy person. You guys might have been watching those issues that I've had over the past couple of days. Well, I signed up for the trade copier, this new trade copier. I don't know if it's good or bad. I'll let you know how it goes, but check this out. We are writing to inform you about a NinjaTrader issue affecting some of our customers who use Rhythmic Broker Connection. The issue involves updating of positions after closing a trade, which may result in outdated information indicating an incorrectly open position in NinjaTrader and basically attempting to close this position, blah, blah, blah. How do you fix it? You have to disconnect and then reconnect. It wasn't me. I'm not the crazy person. They admitted it right here. And then you might be like, well, hang on. That's just from Flowbots. What about, this is from Apex. I reached out to them. Position sync issue. The issue you're seeing where a closed position still appears around, like I sent yesterday's stream, is a known NinjaTrader bug caused by platform sync issues. As shown in the video, disconnecting and reconnecting NinjaTrader forces a resync with Rhythmic and clears the open position. The bug is more common when copy trading many accounts. It's important to note that the specific NinjaTrader, not a Rhythmic data issue. I'm not crazy. I'm vindicated. You guys were all yelling at me. You're like, haha, Matt, you're stupid. You're a fat Barney. Your code sucks. You don't know what you're doing. But no. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was not me. It's NinjaTrader. It's Rhythmic. They are not syncing what they need to sync. So, I get the last laugh on that one. I get the last laugh. All of you guys thinking it was me. You gotta fix the code. Skynet's broke. It wasn't me. I got it right. So with that being said, I do think I temporarily figured out a workaround, which is what I'm going to be, I guess, playing with today. I should let you know that I did pass the 5 take profits. Simultaneously, I also passed 5 different Apex, 11, 95, 87, 94, and 93. Those are all the accounts that I've already passed on Apex. So out of the 28 accounts, 3 of them were already funded accounts, so that doesn't really matter. Oh, wait, hang on one second. Oh, hang on. I have to enable all these strategies before the market opens. So out of the 28, the funding ticks were already funded. I just did straight to funded. So that brings down to 25. And then yesterday I passed on 5 take profits and on 5 Apex. So that's another 10. 5 and 5 is 10 plus the 3. So now I only have 15 left to go. Basically, I just have 15 Apex accounts to pass. And then the new Skynet version actually is rocking on all of them. So I think I temporarily figured out how to battle the issue that I'm seeing. I am trying a new trade copy, as you could see over here. That's what this is all about. Instead of using the Apex trade copier, I'm using Replicanto. I can't say it's good or bad. This is literally my first day of doing it. I'm seeing how it's going to work out. I just want to make sure I have my systems is exactly where I need. And basically at market open, we're going to get rocking. And on that note, you guys have less than 30 seconds to tell me, are you bullish or bearish on the day? You cannot vote after. I don't have time to make a poll. You guys need to spam it in chat. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? And let's just pretend, like as a joke, as a haha, that my financial health is in your hands. Let's make it a joke and assume that my financial health is in fact in your hands.
Order submitted.
All right, we're live.
Order filled.
Love it. Trade 1, we're looking exactly how we should. Looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. Did shit break? Shit, it already broke. What time is it? Do I have enough time? Do I have enough time to disconnect and reconnect? I don't know. So it's not going to work. Wait, no. It might, because I coded up that workaround. Hang on. We have a shot for this to potentially work. The previous issue is these 5 wouldn't trade. I think I figured out a workaround. We're going to find out. We are going to find out if all the accounts trade, because right now it's saying that 5 of them will not. But remember, this is the issue that I just called out to you guys. So hang on. I'll let you know when it's going to fire. I'm excited to figure it out. Nothing's actually fired yet in terms of the second trade. But, all right, that one's now not going to fire. All right, so strategy 2 is not firing today. That's completely fine. Okay. Well, now I don't have a good test guinea pig to see if I figured it out, because that one it skipped. Strategy 2 skipped. There wasn't enough momentum down to the short side for it to go short, or enough positive momentum for it to break to the upside. So we have to wait on that. So I could just disconnect and reconnect and it would be fine. But now I'm at the point, because I want to know if my temporary fix, you could even see it right here. Yellow. Like it knows something is wrong, even though it's actually not in a position. So this is the exact bug that I've been showing you all week. And it's the exact bug that, dude, everything is breaking out. I'm getting a lot of alerts right now. My apologies. That's probably super annoying to listen to. Probably incredibly annoying to listen to. Dude, coin is ripping this morning. So is Hood. Hood, I mean, that's a legit breakout. Is anyone else interested in Hood? I want to look up some info on Hood to see what's going on here. I haven't traded Hood in a long time, but I want to know. High vol point is all the way up at 119. Where is it at right now? It's at 108. 108 is low vol. So it needs to break 108, 109, 110. So there's going to be a lot of a mess up here. That's a lot of positive gamma to get over. Then there's quite a bit of negative gamma. But then from there, like, you're going to fall down this gamma equity curve all the way to potentially 119. So like it needs to get over this mountaintop. The low vol points right here at 107, 109. I mean, is it going to take this out? I do find it interesting. I must admit. I do find it interesting. I do. Okay, I'm waiting for my other stuff to fire to see if my like temporary workaround is going to be fixing what I need it to fix. Oh, Hood. What is this? 112, 110, 112, 117, 119. Interesting. And then Bitcoin's also having a pretty decent day. What's the flow looking like this morning here? I want to see what's going on with Robinhood. Let me show you the flow on the day thus far. SPY kind of slightly down. Mag 7 actually kind of up. And then Hoods is actually also driving up. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Oh. All right. We did that. Bitcoin maybe picking up there. Jesus, why do they always do this to me? All right, we're giving that a whirl. Just a little bit of repositioning here and there. Q's getting slightly hit. My strategy hasn't fired yet, just to be clear. Like, we haven't had a mess up. It just literally has not gone, which is all right. Hey, if the setup isn't there, the setup isn't there. I'm not going to complain about that at all. Not going to complain about that at all. That's exactly... All right, cool. We did all of that. We did all of that. Oh, but if this keeps going on, it might be even a little bit more problematic for me. Might be a little bit more problematic. All right, here's the flow. The Mag 7 popped, a little bit of a breather right now. The SPY has still just been going down. So this is another day of a mismatch between the overall equities market and then specifically the Mag 7. It tends to kind of straighten itself out after, I don't know, the first half hour of whatnot. But I do find Hood very, very interesting. I must admit, Apple's been looking good. Tesla is at 321. Palantir just keeps ripping. Dude, Nvidia's having a great day. Bitcoin's looking kind of saucy. Why is this not going for me? I'm trying to force an order, but maybe that's not smart. A little bit of a hit there on the Qs. All right, now I'm chasing an order that I probably shouldn't be chasing. I'm trying to create a bullish position on Bitcoin, but I am having the worst time getting filled. Like, straight up having a horrible time getting filled. Why? Why can't it just give me my position? That'd be sick. Am I really that much of the liquidity? That doesn't make sense. Why would I be the liquidity? Did I just keep chasing it? This is getting stupid now. I don't know why I'm not getting a fill. All right, choppy in terms of the overall market at open, but nothing to be freaked out about. I think that's perfectly fine. I'm a little bit freaked out about the fact that the longer it takes, so strategy 2 got skipped today on Skynet. Got skipped. Dude, what the fuck? All right, whatever. I'm just going to hit the ask. If it even gives it to me. All right, I did that. All right, I did that. Not the most stoked, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. The TQQQ position, for those of you who watched that video yesterday, currently up 47%, 9.8K, and the SPY position up 28%, also known as 5.7K. So slowly but surely, I am getting myself out of that hole that I dug myself into. So I made back about half already. Obviously, it's unrealized. So we're going to see how that goes. But nonetheless, it is, I don't know, doing fine. Doing fine, slowly but surely climbing myself out of that really stupid hole that I got into. Right now, the 5 minutes undecided, the 10 minutes saving itself on the bullish side, 30 minutes bullish, 4 hours bullish on the S&P 500. On the NASDAQ, everything is bullish. The 5 minute, the 10 minute, the 30 minute, the 4 hour, all are clearly bullish from a momentum perspective. Mag 7 options are picking up. SPY is potentially bottoming, but it has sold off since market open. The other interesting one I am watching today is Hood, just exclusively because of this huge push, consolidation, potential trend line breakout. With respect to risk reward, it's like not that big.
Order submitted.
Oh, hang on. Which one was this? Okay. DL. What time is it? All right, I think I got myself. Is it work? So it did work. They all did fire.
Target filled. Order filled.
They all did fire. So my
Order filled.
all right, and I guess we're trading again. So even though it thought it had positions, my work, dude, everything's turning up, Matt, today. Everything's turning up. Fat Barney today, brothers. It worked. My temporary, like I said, it's just temporary. As soon as Rhythmic and Ninja Trader figure out whatever their problem is, I can go back to what I had. But the temper, it still fired, even though it thought it was in a position, dude. It's turning up, Matt. It is turning up, Matt, today. That's awesome. And actually, I think some of these, no, they have. I was going to say, I think some of them passed, but they didn't. This one, I have quite a few that are only like $100 away. Like this one's only 75, 150, 150, 150, 200, 200, or 200, 250, 250, 250, 252. I have a lot of accounts that are only $250 away. That's not a bad deal. That is not a bad deal. And I got it to work. Not bad. It's always a good day when we're turning up, Matt. All right. Let me take a quick screenshot for everyone in the Discord. I did rip 2 new positions that I finally got a fill on. If you're in the Discord, I have something hot coming your way. Downloads. And remember, if you want to know my positions in real time, that's exactly what the Discord is for. I would never, ever recommend arbitrarily someone follows it. Like I would say, if anything, it's more so used to produce questions of like, what are you seeing? What are you not seeing? Because remember, I'm not a perfect trader. And the only one you should arbitrarily follow is a perfect trader. But remember, there's no such thing as a perfect trader. So that means you shouldn't just be arbitrarily following anyone. In fact, I would argue it's one of the quickest ways to make sure you just blow out and lose a lot of money. But it is used to invoke quite a few, ideally, useful conversations. All right, where are we at? I'm on the wrong side of the screen. Let me go over here. Remember, if you haven't already, check out funding ticks. Funding ticks are the accounts, some of the accounts that I'm trading on right here. Here's my funding ticks. What I like about these is you can do straight to funded. And in terms of firms that I trust, and based on the rule set, do I think it's somewhat fair or not fair? I do think that the rules that funding ticks are actually uniquely good. And it's also your cheapest option to skip evals. If you want to go straight to funded, funding ticks, the rules are interesting. Check them out. See if it's good for you and your trading. It is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video, but most importantly, use that code Goonie to get 35% off. So it doesn't matter which one you're doing it on. I'm doing the 0, which is straight to funded, 100K. This is not the price you pay. I know there's a little bit of sticker shock there, $5.99. Remember, you can take 35% off by using that code Goonie. It is pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. And now I want to see flow. Mag 7 is still trending up. The SPY puked, tried to bottom, bounced. It is a lower high. Let's see what happens here. If the delta and price can put in a higher low, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Exactly what I'm looking for. I don't want this to be a lower high that leads to a vomit. So let's let this structure play out. Right now, it kind of looks like McDonald's. I'm seeing the golden arches, a little bit wonky, but nonetheless, it is a double top. It could just be a double top rejection, unfortunately. We're right at that key open interest level of 80. So let's see if this can hold. I'm thinking that short-term players in the morning session are going to be pretty excited about this. Don't be surprised if there's profit taking on the first time in the intraday session we hit 6,400. That's a pretty evident level. So I'm hoping a base can be made right here, and then we just bounce off that base and go up to 6,400. And then from there, my reach target on the day is 6,420. That's what I'm looking for. If this level doesn't hold, then my next potential level of support, and also if you're bearish, that's where maybe you would want to scale out a little bit, would be at 6,370. So hoping support's made here and we bounce off right up to 400. If it's not, then I'm looking for the market's reaction to 70. Once again, this is for the SPX, the actual S&P 500. Intraday, like I said, it's the McDonald's double top followed by a potential triple bottom right here at 636. Looks very indecisive. Nvidia's having a good day. Bitcoin's having a pretty good day. Let me actually switch this to the 1 minute. What else do we have going on? Yeah, Bitcoin's having a pretty decent day. Apple's having a pretty decent day. The world's biggest stock and third biggest stock are both having pretty good days. And what about the second biggest stock? Not the best day. So biggest stock and third biggest stock, good days. Second biggest stock, not such a good day. Tesla's fine sideways. Palantir fine sideways after a bit of a gap up. Netflix fighting back pretty strong after a period of weakness. You could definitely see it on its daily chart. Quite a bit of weakness ever since the start of July. But like Robinhood, we do have a potential trendline breakout that I'm watching for. So I'm watching for the all-time high at the end of June, the start of July, connected to mid-July. I'm watching for another trendline breakout, which would be perfectly in line with it recapturing its EMAs. That's what this cloud is. So I'm watching that. I have no position right now, but it's definitely something on my watch list. Meta coasting sideways, just waiting for the consolidation, either breakout or breakdown. Coin trying to fight back as well. It is below its EMAs. I want to see if it can recover. There's a nice upside uphill to 377. MSTR, pretty much a similar situation. I've already been over Robinhood that this is a potential breakout. The risk reward is roughly 1-to-1, so it's not the best, but hey, it obviously, I would say when you have a breakout, it generally 2/3 of the time favors the actual direction of the trend going into the consolidation, which is why I would say this has about a 66% chance while the breakdown has about a 33% chance. So is it perfect? No, obviously nothing is perfect, but just something to chit chat about. Looks like Tesla just took a little bit of a hit on its own attempt to break out, but overall still in a consolidation. How is AMD doing? Trying to recover a little bit. There is an upside gap fill to about 172-ish, but overall the trend is nice. What was it? Was it in? No, it wasn't. Didn't Intel, is that the one that Trump was saying the CEO should resign? Was it Intel? This morning, it was literally recent news. I think it was Intel. The stock's not down as much as I thought it would be. Qualcomm, nothing too special there. SoFi is going flat, not even worth a trade. Wow. Color me fucking surprised. No way is Open breaking down. Who would have ever seen this coming? No way. It's not like it ever looked like this stock. It's not like it ever looked like this stock. It's not like it ever looked like this stock. It's not like it ever looked like that stock. It's not like it, like, how many times do we have to go through this? BMNR. Folks, are we noticing similarities here? Am I the crazy person? Dude, this one, honestly, what's weird about Open is it feels like someone is buying a botnet. My entire Twitter feed is people just like, it's almost copy and paste the regurgitation of seemingly bullish commentary on Open, and it just tells me that this thing is coming back down to $1. It's 50 cents. This feels like a clear effort by a guy, an entity, a group of I don't know who, but I'm like, as soon as you look Open up on Twitter, your feed is just going to get spammed with how it's like the next best thing. And right away, that makes me want to run for the hills in the other direction. It very, very much does. Makes me want to run for the freaking hills. What time is it? 9:48, and this still hasn't gone? No, that did go. How many trades have I done today? 3? Yeah, because there's 2 really close back-to-back. All right, so we've traded strategy 1. We skipped 2. We traded 3. We traded 4. We're waiting for 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7 is what we were waiting for. All right, the SPY seemingly not holding 80. Maybe some support will come here. The Mag 7 did have a bit of a dip, but the longer duration expiration is a higher low, while we have an equal low in this Friday's expiration. Hood is still flat. Tesla down, Nvidia up slightly sideways now, Palantir unfortunately down, Microsoft down, Apple actually going up, Netflix flat, MSTR slightly up, Meta slightly down, Avago up. Watch out, AVGO, AMD. AMD and AVGO both catching a bid. Yeah. All right, so Broadcom, AVGO just hit a new all-time high, and then AMD, a decent recovery, not far away from its recent local high, not an all-time high, but the price action is being supported by exactly what we're seeing in the options market on those two names, exactly by what we're seeing. All right, let's go back to this gamma map. There is some positive gamma at 6,350. That could be some support. And then we see some resistance up here at 6,430. So that could be some resistance. Those are the two closest positive gamma nodes. Definitely note those, memorize those, etch them onto your journal or whatever you need to do, but pay attention. Pay attention, pay attention. All right, Apple is definitely having a good day. Nvidia also a pretty deep. Nvidia's catching another bid. I want to see Hood is picking back up, and then don't sleep on Bitcoin. Someone let me know if Bitcoin's all of a sudden breaking out when I'm not paying it. It's already looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. The classic higher low, double high breakout, cup handle follow through. It doesn't get much more like apparent and in your face than that one, folks. We have the sell-off making a giant cup. Here's the handle. The handle's majorly denoted by the higher low, as in the buyers are stepping in earlier than they did before, as in more bullish aggression. They follow through. They don't have enough strength on attempt one, making kind of a triple top situation. Then they step in even earlier. Once again, a second higher low, progressive higher low. And then on this really third attempt, they just follow through and break through. So this is kind of no man's land. And my major interest is just below 119,000. Did I put that? Sorry, I just did. I wanted to update the Discord. What time is it? 9:51, and my stuff hasn't traded yet. Well, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. Oh, we just haven't moved. Yeah, there's not enough momentum in either direction for this to move. So I'm just kind of sitting here. I'm kind of just sitting here. All right, so for those of you who are curious, and this is only going to make sense if you saw the update video from yesterday, I went on tilt after losing money, but I am attempting to make it back. I lost about 30K. I'm making roughly right now unrealized. I'm up about 10K on the NASDAQ, and I'm up about 5K on the S&P 500. So I've made it back about half. I lost 30K in one day, and thus far on the gap up, I'm up about 15. Obviously, this doesn't really mean anything because unrealized is as good as your girlfriend who's allegedly in a different high school in Canada. Doesn't really matter until it's like more of a realized situation. So right now, it's obviously trending in my favor, and I'm happy about it. And it could be exactly this value, and I might just take it. We might get a breakout and a rally, and I might make even more money, or it could be a breakdown, and then all of a sudden I'll end up losing money on this trade as well, and I dig myself further into a hole. You just don't know. But right now, I think I guarantee you there's someone in chat of like, why don't you just take it? 15,000 is 15,000. The point of it is that's not the trade. That's not the system. If you are a trend following trader, the point of it is to follow the trend, not take out the money when you think that's enough green because it's like a big number. The point of being a trend following trader is to do exactly that. It is to follow the trend. That's the entire point. With the new UI in public, how do you see who you follow? I don't know the specifics to that one. I do not know. Oh. I do not know. What Which way are we breaking out here, team? All right. I want to know. Hood's looking good. Nvidia's looking good. Meta's slightly red. Microsoft's slightly red. Other than that, we're seeing some green. We're seeing some green across the board. Green is back on the menu. Come on. The Nasdaq's wanting to get going with this semiconductor news from Trump and whatnot. Hood's going up. Probably just because people are noticing it's a technical breakout. Here's a look at the options flow. Mag 7 pump, gave some back. Equal low on this Friday's expiration. Higher low on the all expiration. And then we pump once again right back to the top levels of the day. S&P 500 has been selling off all day. But we might have found a bottom, question mark. It obviously could vomit. But right here, it's been going sideways since 946. So maybe something worthwhile to pay attention to. Maybe it could catch a bid. Here is a look at the large players. They are once again slight buyers coming out of the gate, slight little baby buyers. The large, when I say large players, I'm talking about like actual institutions. They bought all day on Monday. They were slight buyers on Tuesday. They were slight buyers yesterday, Wednesday, and coming out of the gate, that's a slight positive number. So, is it the most aggression we've ever seen from the big players? No, but it's better than selling, I suppose. So I'm not liking that. The Nasdaq, the tech sector is trying to go one way while the overall market is trying to go a very different way. So what I would be looking for, it's pretty much just you're looking for the SPY to take this out. You're going to want to look for this double bottom situation. Hopefully it respects 635.30 on SPY. Hopefully this is like kind of a double bottom situation. Maybe it turns into a bit of a cut. Oh, something just happened. What the fuck was that? Mom? Dad? Mom and Dad? What? Am I going crazy? What just happened there, Tontos and Tontettes? Tontos and Tontettes. What? Whoa. A little bit of a pop there. Someone splashed the pot in options. Oh, fuck. The Mag 7 really popped. All right, let's play the fun game of who was it? It was a little bit Tesla. It was a little bit Nvidia.
Order submitted.
Hang on, we're trading. We're live now, Tontos. We are live now, Tontos. I'm going to be honest with you. Don't love the fact that it fired right before the turn of the hour, just because for the past week we've been seeing some stuff at the turn of the hour. So I really hope that this could get its fill before 10 a.m. Currently 9:56, so we just have 3 minutes and some change. I would love for this profit to be locked in beforehand.
Order filled.
Just like that. Bada bing, bada boom. It's almost looking like your guy knows what the fuck he's doing. It's working. I'm so stoked that it's working today. Today's coming up, Matt. I get it. You guys are calling me Fat Barney. I get it. That's fine. I can, like a duck, it's just going to be water on my back that falls off. I don't care. You could call me Fat Dinosauro all you want. The point is I'm a rich, fat Dinosauro. That is the key difference here. The key differentiator. We're looking good. I've almost passed more. Oh, wait. This one did pass. 88 passed. So I should turn this one off, I believe, before the next trade fires. 88. 88. Yes, it did. Okay, so 88 is done. I don't need to trade that anymore. Where's 88? Turning it off. All right, so now I've officially passed 6 Apex accounts. I passed 5 take profits. Now I went from 5 to 6 on Apex. Yesterday I passed 5. We added one more today. So I just turned that one off because there's no point. There's no point in me taking any more risk. But what I'm very excited about is the fact that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more are within $100. And actually the worst one is only $250 away. Only $250 away. Today might be Matt's day to shine, you know? I knew I was capable of this in 3rd grade with my teacher, Mrs. Bugsby, who got rid of us once a week to go to music class. And as you guys can hear from my very, very nasally voice, I'm not a singer. In fact, I'm what you would refer to as the opposite of a singer. I couldn't carry a tune to save my life. But regardless of that, for 1 month of my 3rd grade year, at the very malleable age of 8 years old, I won Music Student of the Month. And it would be a lie if I told you I weren't riding that high to this exact moment, because I am. I am riding that high. TL. I don't need this one anymore. Turn off, turn off, turn off. So look at it. It still thinks I'm in a position, but your boy has figured it out. I've cracked the code. I know where Narnia is. Dude, it feels good. What's your main instrument? That was a singing class, but in middle school, I did play the tenor saxophone. Fun fact. Is it 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade, 5th grade? Whatever grade you first get instruments, I was first chair tenor saxophone. It must have been 5th grade. Whatever grade my school got, like you're allowed to be doing instruments for the first time. Your boy was first
Order
chair.
filled. Order filled.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Did it hit again? It did hit again. Look at this. Fucking everything is coming up Mateo today. All right, I just passed another one, 96. We're going to turn that bad boy off. All right, so we just passed another. This one's in $40, $40. We're getting close. The worst one's only $100 away. The worst one, and then I've officially passed them all. Let's go. That's not really in a position. Once again, this is just one of those like bullshit rogue position things. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But I should disconnect and reconnect, because look, it's showing positions right here, which I am not in. So let's do the old disconnect and reconnect. Disconnect. If you are having this issue, then I'm like, it's only specifically if you're using a Rhythmic account on Ninja. If you are having the same issue I am, unfortunately, all you have to do, fuck. I don't know if I should have disconnected that one account. I'm afraid that's going to fire off a trade. See, that's the problem, is when you're running strategies. Okay, so which ones can I trade on? So, all right, let's trade with the least one. So we want the lead account to be 803. And then I just want to enable the ones that I actually have to trade, because what's the point in taking on that risk? So I need to trade 803, 804, 790. 804, 792, 98, 90, and that's it. Dude, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. That is sick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. The other thing I have to do is edit strategy. What's the lead account right now? 803, 803, 803, 803. All right, I'm afraid to re-enable this because I don't know if it's going to auto-fire, because we're in the middle of something, folks. 803, whatever. Okay, it didn't fire. My heart was going for a little bit there. There's one more trade scheduled for the day. It might fire, it might not fire. This one does fire a decent amount. It fires more often than it doesn't, so I have somewhat high confidence that I'm going to see at least one more trade. But unfortunately, that's it, which means that if it were to hit, this one would pass, this one would pass, this one would be close. So two of them have a like they're going to hit. The issue is that the other three are like, they're like just awkwardly far enough away. Like just awkwardly far enough away where they technically won't pass today, which makes me wonder if I should go back to manual trading. Makes me wonder. makes me, should I just rip it? Well, here, let's just wait to see if the other one fires, and then we're going to go from there. But all right, let's go back to where we're at now that I have things set up. Microsoft is actually picking up right now. NASDAQ did pick up ever since 948. It's going flat now, though. Mag 7 is continuing, folks. The bulls are running the options market in the Mag 7, and the SPY, it did pick up nicely from 955 to 10, but it's giving some back. Once again, we're seeing some sellers continually step in right at the turn of the hour. That's been a common trend now for at least, 2 to 3 weeks? I feel like we've been all watching that one together. Right at 10, 10:01, 10:02, 10:03, sellers come in. Now, some days they've been overwhelmed, and then they just we keep ripping anyway by 10:05, 10:10. But then other days it does mark a local high of the day, and we just puke for the rest of the day. So we've definitely been seeing something just past 10 a.m. There's been these little mini common sell-offs. From a structure standpoint, I am a big, Robinhood's going. I am a big fan of the higher highs and higher lows that we're recently getting. My apologies. I like this. I don't like that it's getting smacked so hard, but I do like that it put in a fresh high and a fresh low, and then the Qs have been continually trending that way. Same thing. Ever since 945, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ has found its footing from a price structure standpoint. I like the higher highs, higher lows. We've gone from the same highs, same lows to a breakdown to now higher highs, higher lows. And here, same thing. Higher highs, higher lows to a fake out breakdown, once again recovering higher highs and higher lows. So that's price structure. Price momentum, the S&P 500 is actually bearish on the 5-minute, testing on the 10-minute, but bullish on the 30-minute and the 4-hour. So I'm not liking that. I kind of wish it all looked like the NASDAQ that was bullish, 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 bullish. The 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, and 4-hour from a momentum perspective as an above the moving averages is bullish across the board on the NASDAQ. What's holding us down today is the short term and the kind of also still short-term movement on the S&P 500. It's definitely leaving a little bit to be desired. We try to get right back above 80. Thus far, no luck. This might end up being a triple bottom situation. We kind of opened here. We hit it at 945. We're hitting it again just past 10. But overall, you could classify this as range bound. We went up to a high, we hit it again, we broke down, we hit that same low, we went back up to that high, went back to that low. Overall, we're not, the S&P 500, I would say this is very much just not trending. If you were to look at the 1 minute, look at this, it's just up, down, we're literally just range bound, ping-ponging back and forth. So I would say just wait there. The likelihood of a breakout or breakdown is probably going to be first tipped off to us from the options flow. If you don't know what you're looking at, this is called Spot Gamma. This is by far the best option analytics tool. You could get 80% off. It's in the description of the video if you're curious. But this is called Spot Gamma, and I use it for literally all of my options analysis. I've used all the tools in them. Speaking of that, you can see the deltas popping right now. All right, don't be surprised if we're about to get some follow through above 80 because we just saw, it's still going. It's still going, team. It's still going, it's still going, it's still going. All right, let me get that trade set up. Let's see if this has any legs, but you could see the delta just popped there quite a bit. It was puts being sold and calls being bought. The 0 DTE calls is the green line. All expiration calls being put together is the orange line. The 0 DTE puts is the light blue, and then the dark blue is all puts being put together. So not just the 0 DTE, but the entire, universe of expiration for whatever puts, whatever you happen to be looking at. And we happen to be looking at the S&P 500. So you could see today from the call perspective is just being 0 DTE driven. There's not much of a difference between the 0 DTE and the all expiration, meaning that the major movement is 0 DTE. There is a slight delta between the 0 DTE puts and the all expiration. So puts were being purchased, the delta was dropping, and then you saw a little bit more aggression farther out, as in not involved with the 0 DTE. So that is a bit interesting. Once again, this is all with respect to the S&P 500. We just got some fake out pump that is now being quickly returned, very quickly returned, 10:08. Oh, we're even seeing the Mag 7. What about the NASDAQ? Well, that doesn't necessarily make me feel the best. Is this, who's getting faked out though? Is this the fake out or is this the fake out? The SPY just made a fresh low while the Qs are nowhere close. So this is another day that we are just seeing a big disparity between what the overall market wants to do and what the tech sector wants to do. And when that happens, it's generally a good telltale sign to just freaking wait and wait for something to line up. Your life's going to be far easier the more things that align for that particular trade. It's going to be way, way easier. And that's the hard part of trading, is being patient enough to wait for that particular event to come. What I would be watching right now is something like that. Taking out this recent high at 1007 on the Qs, and maybe that's going to be enough for the SPY to get above 636, and then of course taking out 636.82 would be a pretty big deal as well. What's interesting is officially the SPY has had a 30-minute Orbo breakdown. Generally, as soon as you're in that situation, the odds do not become the best. Surprised to see that for sure. It could be going for the downside gap fill. The Qs are pretty strong, though. Mag 7's tilting a little bit. SPY's tilting a lot of a bit. Wow. All right. Well, let's see what we have here. What do we have in the active buying and selling? The data aggregation mechanism is activated in order to keep up. Note that this seriously affects... Okay, whatever. The point of control on NQ is 23,600, which it just ripped through, and it took out a lot of buy-side liquidity right there. A lot of buy-side liquidity right there. Some buyers are attempting to step in down here where my cursor is 570. It might find support at 600. That's a key technical level. And also now it's the largest volume level of the day. So there's going to be a lot of bot systems that just inherently react to that, bullish above, bearish below. But the point of control, the POC, is the highest volume price traded of the day, like where most volume has transacted. And that's on NQ at least, that's perfectly at 23,600. Perfectly at 23,600. And that's exactly why we're seeing a bit of a reaction here, is just because there's a lot of bots programmed to react to it in one way or another. Let's see what bot battles are going to win out. The SPY is just getting hit. Wow. The Qs have not officially broken down yet. So we're going to find out who the winner is. When it gets to these situations, when we have the SPY attempting to go one way and the Nasdaq attempting to go the other way, I have found that it is very silly to try to predict who is the leader of who's going to quote unquote win out, as in, is the SPY going to drag the Qs down with it, or are the Qs strong enough to bring the SPY back up with it? I have found that prediction generally not worth your time. I found that life is far easier of just waiting for them to get in sync, not only in price momentum, but price structure, but also options flow. When those things align, like quantifiably, I could prove to you that your life is just going to be way easier looking for, technically it's all six, because we're looking at the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, and they both have three: price structure, price momentum, and options flow. So when all six of those are pointing one way, or maybe like five of them or something like that, your life's going to be way easier. All of a sudden, when you have three one way and three the other way, or 4 and 2, your life gets a little bit more complicated, and it's a little bit more of just luck of like, were you on the right side or were you on the wrong side? So what I'm looking for, obviously I'm hopeful for the bullish side just because that's my current bias, but from an empirical standpoint, I am looking for support to be found here, right here at the point of control on the Nasdaq. And then on top of that, I'm looking for this to maybe just be a fake out, this 70, because we know 80 was a key level. The market rejected that. We very quickly puked. I'm hoping this is an overreaction from this key level and we don't even come close to here, but we might. I mean, there is a downside gap fill to 6352. The market might want to just clean it up. That's totally possible. But like I said, a boy can hope, and I'm hoping this is a freak out and we just get right back above 70 and then once again retest 80. The SPY is definitely a bit weaker. Oh, the options did puke right there. 1006. I mean, this is now what? Almost the 10th day in the row where we've seen a negative reaction in price just past the 10 a.m., just past the first fresh hour of the trading session. So from 9:30 to 10, 10 is the first fresh hour of the day. we've been seeing people just hit the sell button. J Bone sent 1 Kohrs show gift membership. Hey, Fuzzy got it too. That's very kind. That's very, very kind. Fuzzy, what a lucky guy. What a lucky guy. He deserves it. He's a good guy. You guys might not know this about Fuzzy, but he happens to be a Minecraft master. A Minecraft master. Bet you guys didn't know that one. Bet you guys didn't know that. Okay, this is actually a more interesting situation. So the 30-minute Orbo breakout, it was a breakout on the NASDAQ, but it was a breakdown on the S&P 500. It's not that common that you get opposite direction breakouts on the S&P 500 and on the NASDAQ. So on this push right at 10 a.m., the NASDAQ did officially get the 30-minute Orbo breakout to the upside. It took out the first 30-minute bars high. The SPY got close, but no cigar, and then quickly vomited. So even though the SPY got its breakdown, the Qs never did. It's not the most common to test both sides. You have a 50-50 shot on the 15-minute Orbo of breaking the high and the low within the same day. As in 50% of trading days, you break the high and the low for the Orbo, the first 15-minute Orbo. The chance of that happening on the 30-minute Orbo of breaking both, it's not 50. It's closer to like 25-30% of the time. Boston Symphony, member for 40 months. Everyone loves Fuzzy. Shout out Boston Symphony. You have a whole new icon. 40 months. You have like the evil, dark-looking Piper now icon. That's pretty crazy. SMCI, what about it? It's a shit stock. Yeah, looks horrible. I mean, this is in the exact same world as stocks that look like that, and look like that. The exact same sector, and you want to pick on the one that looks like this, that like was a hair away from getting delisted because they were like lying about their numbers and didn't have their paperwork right. It's just like, what's the point? If you like the sector, if you like AI, if you like semiconductors, if you like this world, dude, make your life easier. Pick the ones that win. Pick the ones that are just going. Don't pick the one that's like actively bringing, like, this is such a negative outlier that like, what's the point in this? Another somewhat negative outlier is ASML. Another one that like, it's in the sector, but like, why is it lagging so far behind? How's Micron? Micron's a bit better. I would say it's like a tier above, but it's still below the first group that I showed to you. But yeah, I mean, the story's being told you. It's up to you if you want to read the story, but this is a story of just dog shit, dude. Like, I don't know. When you have this as an option and you have this as an option, feels like the choice is pretty obvious. Feels like make your life simpler. Don't try to make this like heroic buzzer beater 3-point shot for no reason. Be the person who's Shaq and you're just going for the easy layups. I deeply believe successful traders, it's about the easy layup time and time and time and time again. That's one of the major issues of why people are getting caught up in OPEN. They're trying to make some sort of heroic play thinking it's going to come all the way back up when this is the story. The story is dog shit. Why you would have to riddle me this. As a company that exclusively pumps, dumps, 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 pumps, really dumps. Why do we think that this pump won't lead to a dump? If we have 30 fucking data points of this thing pumping and then dumping, why you would have to riddle to me why this particular situation is worth your time, because your time is what got you your money. So you're now dedicating your time, the one commodity that we're never going to get back, to betting on the fact that this pump is going to be ending differently than every other pump in its history. It makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense. And I think it's just greed. I think it's good old-fashioned greed that people are like, nope, I saw someone on Twitter talk about it. It's the next best thing. And it's exactly what happened with Workhorse. Same thing. Every pump is a dump. Pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump. Dude, like, this does not fucking take a rocket scientist or even a rocket surgeon to figure out. I mean, we could just keep going down the list. Pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump. Like, it's the same shit over and over and over and over again. And then it happens again, and everyone's like, never saw that coming. Never saw that one coming. That's crazy. Dude, this shit is coming a mile away. SPY is not looking so good right now, unfortunately. Are the big guys still buying today? They are still slight buyers. Mag 7 definitely gave some back, going flat. The Qs are trying to recover. Hopefully this is the bottom. I'm looking for this range that's been created from 10-11 to now, and it's ongoing. We're kind of going sideways. We came into it in a bearish sell-off, which gives the bears a slight edge. I would say about a 5 to 8% edge of, oh, we break that way. It's not, when you come to consolidation zones, it's not 50-50 breakout, breakdown. There is a slight edge in the favor of the direction that you were coming from to get into the consolidation zone. Like I said, not the end all be all, but there is a slight edge. The question, what is your 5-year average percent growth? More than Berkshire? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know my 5-year percent growth, and I also don't know Berkshire, so I can't answer that. We've been in like kind of a major bull market for this. So you're asking me from 2020 until now? I mean, Berkshire's made a lot of money, but you're asking for percentage growth. I truly don't know. Truly don't know. Matt, are you invested in Sol? I am not. The only crypto I have currently is Bitcoin. I find that my crypto life is way easier by just sticking to the granddaddy of them all. I don't find, I think there's a compelling case to actively trade the other ones just because, hey, if it's a liquid market and has good volatility, good ranges are how you make good money. But in terms of an investment, I have not ever heard a convincing case that something is better in the crypto sphere than Bitcoin. A lot of crypto relates on this fact of how many other people agree with like really the use case. And right now, most people across the world agree and understand the use case of Bitcoin relative to any other crypto. SPY, it keeps pushing. As of right now, what time is it? It is 10:21. The SPY is seemingly more so dragging down the Qs than anything else, dude. I want that miraculous intraday recovery. Speaking of Bitcoin, where are we at? 116. Where's my Nvidia at? Nvidia's holding. Apple's starting to give up. Microsoft's not doing anything. Meta, Tesla, Netflix. So the big tech players, actually, they're looking pretty good. So it's the rest of the world that's kind of messing up today. The big Mag 7 plays are actually looking pretty solid. We're not seeing Eli Lilly just had horrible earnings. That's scary. So that's just a giant gap down. But across the board, industrials are kind of weak. CrowdStrike and Fortinet, Palo Alto Networks, they're taking a bit of a hit. Microsoft's fine. These ones, like the big tech plays, aren't really doing anything that bad right now. Which are 5-minute percent growth? 0. I haven't traded in the past 5 minutes. Watching from India. Shout out, Vivek. SPY, it might just be going for this downside gap fill. We have a downside gap fill at 552.83. That is the high from yesterday. It is the literal gap in the chart. So hopefully, if we get down there, there's just a skyrocket bounce right off of it. But we have a lot of technical support between 6353 and 6345. So basically, if you were short, this is where you'd want to scale out some. And maybe it keeps going, but it's definitely not a place that you would be creating new shorts because this is from a technical perspective, definitely going to be identified as a dip buy zone. And I also wouldn't be so surprised if we bring this up and see that there's a lot of sitting buy orders there. Yep. Didn't take a rocket scientist to guess that one out. 80 and 75. Yep. Right in this 5-point zone. A lot of sitting buy orders. UAL issue ground stops, major airports nationwide. Ugh. Feels like they've been just having a lot of issues. A lot of issues. Here, I'll move myself over so you guys can see this on Bookmap a bit better. But yeah, right there. Lot of willing buyers, passive buy orders sitting at 80 and 75. So I don't know if they will or won't get filled. I mean, your guess is as good as mine, but I'm very much hoping if they are or aren't, we just skyrocket right out of here. That's what I want to happen, and what I want to happen and what will happen are two completely different things. But maybe, just maybe, yeah, a lot of sitting buy orders right here, and then 5 points lower also at 75. And then it looks like some of these people who are buying right here are trying to unload it at 95. So they're going for a quick little low risk, 5-point risk, 6-point risk.
Order filled.
What? Did they hit? They did hit. All right. So I passed on. Nice. 88. Which one just passed? 98 just passed, I believe. 98. I just want to double check. Yes, it did. All right. So I don't need to trade this one anymore. All right. So pass. We only have 4 more to go. $25, $35, $40, $84. What is your 2, 5, 10, whatever year growth measure? How are you today versus year X? This is a good year for me. Going into April, it was on pace to be my best year by quite a bit. Recently, I've fallen off a little bit, and I think it has to do more with my own psychology of not reading them, like trying to force trades rather than being patient for it. So I would say the recent month or two have been like a completely different story than like the whole year. I started off rough. January was rough. February, March, April was good. June is where things kind of turned for me. July was rough. And now obviously we're in August and I lost 30 grand yesterday, but August, we're not even halfway over. So I think I still have some time. So I can't really comment too much on this year just because it's not over. All right, we did hit this. I'm looking for the bounce right out of here. Come on. But in terms of percent, I don't have those numbers memorized at all. Especially because I don't look at it as like a whole thing. I segment my algorithmic trading for options versus my algorithmic trading for futures versus my manual trading for options and futures versus a 0DT program. Piper, I run that. Like I tranche it all out so I can track them individually. I don't just look at it as a whole. I mean, sometimes in real time, I'll know where I'm at year to date across all my accounts, but I don't memorize. Like I just have it all documented and go back. And if it was fresh in my mind, I'd be able to give you more of a direct answer. But 5 years, also that's a tough one just because that includes the craziness of the Rona period and the SPAC period and the EV period, which then led into like kind of the birth of my content when I first started with GameStop. Then I went to AMC, Doge was in there, Shiba was in there. So there were like content related craziness things. And then there's also just like the explosion of the overall market where like my long-term account did like crazy good. Sucks about gap ups. We're just waiting to finish the profit takers. Well, I wouldn't mind if we finish and then we just spend the rest of the day popping. I wouldn't mind that at all, honestly. Would not mind that in the slightest. Wouldn't mind it in the slightest. What is my lead account? I've decided I'm going to try to quickly trade just these 4 accounts. What is it? 803. Wait, did 803? 803 did not pass. So I need to pass 803, 90, 804, and 92. this account, 25 bucks, 35 bucks, 40 bucks, and 85. So the worst account just needs 85 buckaroos. 85 buckaroos.
Order filled.
Did I do it on the right one? I did not do it on the right one. Shit. $83.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Fuck. $6 away. No! $6 fucking dollars. Passed it. $6. $6. Dude, this is the point where the narrator's like, and he should have stopped. $6. Dude, 52,994.34. This is the exact point where they're like, you needed one more, like just one fucking trade. Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Dude, this is totally going to be the point that I fuck it up. All right, well, first of all, I should make sure I'm on the right account that I need to trade. That would be step one on this particular problem. Oh, this is going to be it. One trade. I just need like the most baby scalp ever. I just need $6.66. All I have to do is make $6.66. That's it. Shouldn't be that complicated, should it? When you put it that way, 666, I just need the number of the devil. The number of the devil. Oh, is this where things go awry for me? Quite a bit of support right here at 75 on ES, and then switching it over to NQ. A little bit of a bounce there. Oh, what is this? 77. Oh, brother. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. I just need $6. It's just $6. 5, 6. Well, no, because you have to go over because of fees and whatnot. You need to be like you can't just be. You have to pass it a little bit. Oh fuck! I was gonna buy that.
Order filled.
Screw it, America.
Target filled.
Ah, huzzah! Ah, he did it. 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 Quick message from today's stream sponsor.
I know he's gonna wild out and he's gonna do something crazy. Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know. I guess, read them and fucking weep, folks. Look at these numbers. Look at all these numbies. Every single one is above 53,000, 53,370, all the way 53,011. I passed 25 accounts using my giant fucking brain, Skynet, and some degenerate trading, to be honest, because day one was just me sitting there in Discord scalping shit and people were getting mad, but it was too funny. So the old combination of systematic trading and revenge scalp trading is what brought me to the promised land. It's what brought me to the promised land. So I passed all the take profit accounts, I passed all the Apex accounts, and then I had the 3 already funded. Like they start off as funding. There's no eval stage on these funding ticks. Speaking of that, if you want to do funding ticks, highly recommend checking it out. You're not even gonna have to worry about the test. You just come here and go to 0, but there is a 3-day pass one and a 1-day pass one. They have different account sizes, different rules. Check them out. Just make sure to don't pay these exorbitantly high prices. Use that code Goonie to get 35% off. It is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. I don't know why I couldn't come up with that word. Exorbitantly high. Come on, let's get that classic dip buy bounce. I fucking beg of you. I beg of you. Let's get it. I want to see, like, that would be just so perfect right here. We got the gap fill. We puked right to it. We're building up a base. Let's get that breakthrough. Let's rip up to 70. We'll dance there, go to 80, trend line, break, and then we push forward. Like, you can almost see it. It's almost as if it's like written in the stars that that's what is meant to happen. We get all excited. No profit takers. People panic. We come right to this key level that everyone should be marking out every single day. And then right there it ends. What happened? All right. Wait, how do I Nope. Show alerts. Okay, close. And then I want to see if there's any alerts popping off. Not yet. But right when we got there, look at, boom, people buying calls and selling their puts. Not as much put selling as I'd like to see, but they're definitely buying 0 DT calls out of here. Definitely. And then on the Mag 7, a lot of call buying, a lot of call selling. Everything else has been relatively flat. Looking at the NASDAQ there. What do we have on Bookmap? This is a must tool. It's called Bookmap. If you're a day trader, scalp trader, you get to see all the sitting buy orders, all the sitting sell orders right here. Why did we struggle at 73? Because a shitload of people are trying to sell at 23,573. That's what the heat map is telling us. There's a lot of sitting orders. Oh, and it's also a VWAP rejection trade. So not only, well, that's most likely why people had their orders sitting there, is because they saw that it was VWAP. This white horizontal line up here, that is the volume weighted average price. People were front running it a little bit, and no surprise, we got up to it. It was overwhelmed with liquidity, and then it just turned into a sell off. And then there's even people trying to sell on a slight breakout of VWAP. So they're trying to sell 73 and sell at 80. So taking those out would be a big win, but that's also a big if. I don't know who has more balls in this particular circumstance. I don't know who has more balls in this particular circumstance. Dude, I'm fucking stoked. Fat Barney wins again. Fat fucking Barney. Palantir's looking good. Fat Barney. Five minutes bearish, 10 minutes bearish, 30 minute is potentially breaking down on ES, 4 minutes still bullish. NASDAQ, 5 minutes breaking down, 10 minutes testing, 30 minutes bullish, 4 hour is bullish. Can we get out of this range? Oh, I hope they don't full trip this one. I hope they don't full trip this one. Visibility. Okay, we don't need that on this one. Yeah, we got the downside gap fill. We do have the higher highs. We do have the higher lows. My unrealized gains. Remember this morning when I was like, yeah, I'm up, but it doesn't really matter because it's not locked in. That's kind of where I'm at in my life. I had nice unrealized gains, and now it's not looking so nice. Now it's not looking so nice, but maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe Fat Barney will pull another magic rabbit out of his hat. Maybe, oh maybe, oh maybe, oh maybe, oh maybe. Barney, the friendly dinosaur. Well, according to the internet, I'm not so friendly. I need to show you. Okay, to be completely honest, I had no idea people like still deep, like we are here August 7th, 2025, more than 4 years after the fact of AMC. I didn't realize that people are still like thinking AMC is going to squeeze like this day. So I just posted this thinking like 2 people would like it and like whatever. I was just pointing out how it's shit, and it's because Adam Aaron's like a piece of shit, and I just wanted to tag him, letting him know that I know he's a piece of shit. And then I had one of the funniest interactions. So I said, who remembers when I exposed CEO Adam for who he really is? And everyone said I was wrong. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Whatever. I was bored. I was sitting there. I was like not doing the work my producer told me I should be doing. And then someone said, you are a salty influencer who rug pulled his fans, as if I control the price of AMC. Once you stopped posting AMC content, you became irrelevant and no more made money from YouTube. So shut the F up, stay in your lane. And then I said, your mom thinks I'm relevant because, dude, fucking internet, why not? And then he said, wow, great comeback. And then this is where I was really popping off this morning. I said, hey, buddy. I hit him with the buddy. You know it's going to be a good response. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. If I wanted a great comeback, I'd tell your mom to clean off her face. That's what I do at 7 in the morning when I'm prepping for the show. I mean, what a double dagger. I hit him with a buddy and a mom joke in the same tweet. You can't come back from that. You can't, dude. When you get hit with a buddy and a mom joke in one tweet, I'm surprised they didn't call the cops on me. Call the mortician. That guy's gonna need an appointment at the funeral. Bodied him. Absolute bodied him. A buddy and a mom joke? It's almost cruel. It's almost cruel. R.I.P. to that, dude. Pretty much. Realtor. Childish. Well, no one said this show was for adults. That's for sure. I would say I'm like the new age Steve from Blue's Clues. I'd say I'm the Gen Z Steve from Blue's Clues. Absolute gold. You won't get this reporting on CNBC. Dude, imagine if they did that. CNBC just started covering like shit tweets. More like RIP, RIP to that community. Oh yeah, the AMC community. I didn't know it's still going on. That's what I was truly, my mind was blown yesterday. How do you see the quote tweets? Can I not? Dude, where is it? I didn't dude, they still had space calls. Oh, right here. This fucking retard. Literally August 3rd. Wait, that's America. Let me scroll. Dude, this guy, he needs to take a fucking break off the internet. He's still actively hosting space calls about why AMC. Is it alerts? I'm buying AMC. AMC coiling up forever. August 6th. AMC. I've never seen AMC haters on this post. I wonder why. New York Stock Exchange. They're still isn't that insane? It's one thing of all right, 2022 folks, it's kind of getting passive, but I see why you're kind of talking maybe I don't know, whatever. But 2023, all right, that's getting weird. 2024, no one's talking. Fucking people are talking about it in 2025. Literally hosting space calls of fuck, dude, 4 hours, and what are they talking about?
Keanu Reeves gave his money, most of his money, to the special effects crew for 2003.
the other day. I forgot how funny
we
that
need a
was.
cipher gold and silver and paying a premium price to try and get a physical location. Because why should they? Why should we let these fiat fucking bankers $5 million, guys? The Jaws going to pull more loyalty members in buckets, not in the front. These things need to be.
Yo, it's actually fucking delusions. Like true fucking delusions, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. There's fucking Keanu Reeves. He gave his money to the special effects team, so stock's gonna squeeze. The dark pools. Well, that's what I had to apologize this morning because I ruffled a few feathers. When I posted this, I had no clue people still actively follow think AMC is going to squeeze. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. Please don't get lost in the dark pool. So like, not only did I sling off a hot typo, but I had to apologize because I really, really hurt their feelings. And I didn't mean to do that. I guess. I don't know. It was like literally a shit post. I was just there bored. Like truly, I was just not doing the work that my producer told me I should be doing. And I started just like shit posting. And then it turned into a thing. But every once in a while, you just have to break the internet. Every once in a while. Are we missing any other actual breaking news? 15 places where nature doesn't look real. Dude, I need to move to Switzerland. If anyone watching right now is in Switzerland and you have an extra room, let me be your roommate. I will cook you hamburger helper. I'll let you shit post from my Twitter account. Like we'll do it together as a team. But there's no way you could have a bad day as Fat Barney if this is your background. Like truly, you just can't. Whoa, what the fuck? I don't think Madagascar is a real place. I know they shot a movie there, and I think they made like a sequel and stuff. But if they never made those movies, I'm not sure I would have ever thought Madagascar was real. What is this one out? Idaho. Yo, Idaho? Is Idaho a dark secret? That like a dark horse candidate for the best state to be in? That's dope. Norway. This is going to make me as mad as Switzerland. That's beautiful. The fjords. Same thing in Norway. If you're in Norway and you want, like, I'll pay rent. I will cook you hamburger helper. I'll go fishing with you every day. Where the how do you say this? What the fuck? How do you say this word? I don't even know how to start to say this word.
Sarvaksvaten.
Schwabrakstrafen.
Sarvaksvaten.
Schurvaksvaten.
Sarvaksvaten.
Solraksvaten.
Sarvaksvaten.
I think I'm nailing it. I think I could pass as a is anyone else getting this on TikTok? Anyway, I could pass as a Norwegian. No, where is it? Is it this one? Dude, there's this TikTok guy that is blowing up, and he's like trying to go through all the words that native Chinese speaking people have an issue with, and it's some of the funniest content out there. Anyway, Sovrakshvachen. Dude, I nailed it. Lauterbrunnen. Where are these places? Dolomites, I knew about that. That's sick. Bolivia, the salt, that's cool. Been to Iceland, did that. Beautiful. New Zealand, that looks crazy. Chile, Argentina border, that's fucking nuts. Colombia, that's sick. Philippines, that's beautiful. Indonesia. The only bad thing about Indonesia is it's going to take me like 14 days to get there. Arizona, that's dope. That's cool. Hey, you learn something every day, even if it's Sovraksvachten. Sovraksvachten. Uh-oh. The bounce that we were promised is not looking so bouncy. That's not looking so good, team. Matt, we need you on GeoGuess or I'd be horrible. Have you guys seen the videos of that guy, like the best guy in the world at it? It's amazing how good people are at that game. Amazing how good they are. Sometimes I'll get those TikToks of him like being flashed a picture for like 2 seconds and he's like, oh, that's like this part of whatever, Germany. He's like, oh, is that hospital in Germany? It's insane how good they are at it. Lauterbrunnen is beautiful. Well, based on the picture I just saw, but it seems like multiple of you in here know about it. Why do so many of you know about it? Where is it in Switzerland? South. It's kind of almost right in the center. It's kind of far away from Zurich, though. Dude, look at that. Why the fuck am I in New York when there's places like this in the world? Dude. You're telling me I could rip some futures contracts and then for the rest of the day just sit there? I could just sit there all day? Fucking, before you know it, I'm going to be a girl with long blonde hair just running with flowers around. What? Bro, what the fuck am I doing with my life? This is actually upsetting me that I have to look at fucking skyscrapers in a smelly, dirty city all day. The view is not free. They tax by the minute. Don't give a fuck. Take all my money. Matt sitting there trading at midnight. Don't care. If I could chill with that all day, do not give a fuck, man. Isn't that close to Adolf's old mansion? Question. Why do you know where Adolf's mansions are? I think I'm going to put this one back on you and inquire why you know so much about, I guess, Adolf's life. My friend's mom just bought herself a room on a cruise ship for the next 15 years, $65K down, $2K a month. She's currently in Japan. I've heard some about that, of like the never-ending cruises. Seems kind of crazy. How are New York rats? Dude, they're the size of small dogs. They're not rats. They are something else. They're mutants. So go, dude. You are where you choose to be. Not really. You can't just do that. Like, I have a wife to consider, a cat to consider. All my family is here. Like, I can't like end the stream today and go to my wife and be like, hey, good news, bad news. And she's like, what's that? I'm like, hey, like, we're going to go to Switzerland. She's like, oh, that's sick. Bad news. We're never coming back. I think Piper would be into it. I don't know how she'd be on an airplane. I actually don't even know if Piper knows what airplanes are, but I'm sure she would get over it. But like, I get it. Like, we always say that of like, you could do whatever you want. It's like, does anyone else feel like the familial guilt of just leaving them? Like, I would feel deeply guilty if I just like said, hey mom, I'm not going to see you for like a year or two. I have like a newborn nephew, obviously my sister, my brother-in-law, my aunt, my aunts, my uncles, like just to be like, hey, fucking see ya. Like, I feel like there should be a word for that familial guilt. And I think a lot of people in this world get trapped into that. They would rather be somewhere else, but exclusively because of where their family is, they get stuck in that area. Gorilla, Invictus, no. Nah. You got the money, broski. It's not a money problem. I have pretty much the money to live wherever the fuck I want to live. I already live in the most expensive city in the world. It's not a money issue. I could definitely, it would actually be advantageous for me to move anywhere but what, like Tokyo and LA. But even in LA, it's the same cost, but you get more space. So I'd actually argue my life would be better in LA. So beyond that, the only other place that's like somewhat comparable would be Tokyo, I guess. Maybe like Hong Kong. I don't know. They would be up there, but I'm already pissing away money in a place that I do not love. It's fine. I'm not saying it's bad being here. I'm just saying you pay quite a bit for the quote unquote good things you get. Bostic just said 1 rate cut this year. Bostic is fucking high. Matt, I'm telling you, do a 6-month trial in Switzerland, see if you like it or not. That's my issues. I probably love it. That's my concern. Do you live in LA or New York? I live in New York. I live in the financial hub because of fucking Wall Street, brother. I just got to be in with the crowd. I got to be there. I got to feel their life force when I'm trading. Or a 6-month trial anywhere in Europe. I don't know about anywhere. Aren't a lot of those countries kind of going to shit right now? Don't they all have like, isn't there like massive upticks in crime due like to like immigration problems and shit? To be honest, I'm not like fully in tune in what's going on in other places of the world. Probably I should be more. But some of the things I get every so often is people aren't so stoked right now. I think there are definitely some probs. I think there's also something going on in Ukraine. Something like that. I think there's also something going on in Israel. I'm not really 100% sure. Portugal is great. I've heard great things about Portugal, especially Lisbon. Portugal is actually, fun fact for Americans, it's actually one of the easiest places to get a work visa. In London, 100%. I heard that London isn't that different from New York City. I heard it's like good to go to once, but like really not that much. Not really measurably different than New York City. How much are places in New York City? The average and median rent is just above $4,000. So in the city of Manhattan, the average rent for a couple months now, a couple months ago it cracked 4,000, and now I think it's up to like 4.2 is the average rent. Just back, I don't know, Switzerland or Poland. Well, I think they have very different issues going on. I really want to go to the Dolomites. I want to hike the Dolomites. I also want to go to Egypt. I feel like something about it. It'd be cool to see those pyramids. It'd be cool. Tokyo is awesome. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. This is not going the way I want it to. They just tilted slightly negative. Fuck. Right back to this. Son of a bitch, dude. The SPY just keeps dragging down. I was promised a miraculous intraday recovery. We're not seeing it. We're not seeing it. The Nasdaq has been puke. Look at the 10 a.m. reversal. 10 a.m. reversal. Nasdaq, Mag 7, and the SPY. Just everything. We've been seeing it day over day over day. 10 a.m.'s been a rough time. The Dolomites are well worth the trip. Oh, that's definitely in my life plans to go to the Dolomites. All right. Fuck. Dude, I don't know. I thought we would bounce off of 53. Maybe we bounce off of 45. Maybe they wanted to hit the closing value. We do have this other, I suppose, more extreme trend line you could follow now, but we are at the intraday low. The large players just tilted into being net sellers. They started off the day as net buyers, then just tilted into net sellers. Granted, they're right around that zero line, so I wouldn't put that much weight in that reading just because we're not getting a large reading. Bitcoin still holding 116. Fuck, dude. We're just getting mags. Yeah, it just, everything was great till 10, 10, 10. And then since then, the market has just not been able to catch its footing. Could be because of Bostic. Could be. Yeah, they're still selling a little bit. Let's see how this is shaping up on the day. Oh, that's a lot more aggressive selling than anything else. All right, here's the picture of the day. We had some buying, some selling, decent amount of buying. 10 a.m., everything switched. There was a round of selling, choppy, didn't know what it wanted to do at the point of control. Then another round of selling, and then surprise, surprise, choppiness once again, followed by another round of selling. So ideally, it could find support somewhere and then at least give us a retest of this point of control at 23,600, which also happens to be a key psychological level. But as of right now, like for that to happen, the way here at 9:45 to 10, the way we had all that aggressive buying, we would have to see that again. Because right now it's definitely more so. There's only little bits of buying that then just fail. Like little bits of buying, lots of selling. Little bits of buying, lots of selling. So we need something to change. There is a chance of the market somewhat reacting. It could be positive or negative. At 1 p.m. today, there is the 30-year bond auction, so that could be worthwhile to pay attention to. And then also new as of today, President Trump will be speaking at market close at 4 p.m. So once again, that could be good. It could be bad. From a momentum perspective, the S&P 500 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute is all bearish, and even the 4 hours about to be testing. The NASDAQ 5-minute, 10-minute is bearish, not that far away. 30-minute and 4 hour are still bullish. We are... Here, I'm trying to clean this up so you can see it a bit better. We started off pretty good. Obviously, we had the downside gap fill. At 10:25, I was praying for that to be the bounce, and honestly, at this breakout at 10:45, I was like, okay, cool. We sold off. We got the gap fill. We're about to get going. Unfortunately, it looked like now there's a second impulse to the downside. So maybe we catch ourselves at the closing value from yesterday. Generally, there are sitting buyers at the previous day's closing value, 6345. So that's where we're at right now. Step one would be this trend line breakout. Step two would be taking out the 1045 high. And then step three would be going up to 6380 / the first trend line of the day, this first top sloping one. So step one, step two, step three. That's what you would look for a recovery. And then from there, I'd be looking for 6,400, 6,420. It's possible, but it's not looking so good at the moment. For it to quote unquote look good, I would simultaneously on Bookmap want to see a lot of aggressive buying, and I want to see an uptick in the delta. See how we're getting this uptick right here on the Mag 7? You want that, but like the way we saw it this morning. On the NASDAQ, the way we're getting a little bit of a baby uptick, you don't want it to be a baby uptick. You want it to like really, really get going. And then the same thing in the S&P 500. Maybe this is a higher low. That would be awesome. Price has gone lower, but the delta is higher. So that's a bit of bullish divergence. So the way you're seeing the delta pick up, you want to just see it like really, really rip. That would be like the telltale sign of like, okay, like maybe we have the shot to take out 62. Maybe we have the shot to take out 80. So trend line 62. Actually, I'm going to set that alert there. Yeah, I'm going to set that alert. And maybe we're getting close to the bottom. But I also thought maybe we were at the bottom at 1025. So what the fuck do I know? I heard the pyramids were made out of cardboard. Yeah, I think that's well known. Wait, do people think that the pyramids are made out of something different? Is people actually thought that? That's crazy. All right, let me check out the gamma levels before I let you go. Okay, yeah, we're at a gamma level now, so this is another realistic bounce point. So we're at the spot gamma implied one-day move low at the vol. We're at this positive gamma. So, dude, if the bulls are going to step in, they fucking better do it soon, or before you know it, we're going to get sucked even lower. So let's see if we can actually find a bit of support come in here. If you want to check it out, don't forget you could use Bookmap. It's in the description of the video. There's a free trial, and then there's like a bunch of different tiers and monthly, yearly, lifetime. So you can use that, and you're going to get some nice discounts. But also, if you want to do sim to funded and never have to take an eval, Funding Ticks is the cheapest way for you to go straight to funded. So I get some questions about, hey man, I just don't want to do the eval. I'd rather start straight up trading. Well, pinned to the top of chat, you could use that code Goonie on Funding Ticks. Personally, I'm using the 0-100s. I'm not saying it's the best or the worst. This is just the first attempt at it. I'm seeing what I do and don't like. You can take an eval. They're quite a bit cheaper, but obviously then you have to pass the eval. Slightly different rules, so make sure you are considering all of that. That's pretty much what I have for you today. I'm going to be posting an update video later on today. Tomorrow's a big day. It's a huge day, actually, because not only do we have our normal show, but I also have a scheduled haircut. So obviously, Haircuts are always really, really big days for Fat Barney. So I'm pretty excited about that. Pretty jacked up about that. Not really sure if I'll be able to sleep tonight. So from here, obviously, respect your risk. Stick to your trading plan. I hope you make a shitload of money. Look for a bounce to roughly happen right here. If we don't get it roughly right here, I think that the afternoon's going to be a little bit lower and just kind of a choppy mess. But be careful with the 1 p.m. 30-year bond auction. Posting an update video later on today. Make sure you have your notifications on for that. I can see that a lot of you guys miss it because I'm getting these DMs of like, dude, how did I even know that video was out? I don't know. YouTube's not promoting it. It is what it is. So just hit that bell icon and put it to always, and you could pretty much do the same thing on Rumble as well. So update video coming out later tonight, streaming once again tomorrow morning. Other than that, it was a good day. Honestly, this has been one of the better days we've had in a while because the systems pretty much ran perfectly. One strategy was skipped, but that's okay. It just didn't have what it needed to have to trade. And then all the accounts are passed. The 5 take profits passed as of today, and all 20 Apex passed as of today. And then, like I said, the funding ticks ones, the FT ones were already passed. So either starting tomorrow, I might wait till Monday, to be honest. I don't know. I might wait till Monday to like start trading all of the funded accounts together because I'm still a little bit hesitant about like the craziness of why Rhythmic and Ninja are having issues. So I need to figure that one out. But other than that, I appreciate all the good vibes. I hope you guys make a fuckload of money, and I'll catch you later. Peace.